Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be going over my Pyxis 6K build. I'm not going to get too deep into the camera itself because I've shot extensively with it. I used the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K full frame, and I loved it. I loved it so much. The only thing I didn't like about that camera were the ergonomics of the actual camera body itself. When I found out that I was rigging it out and taking it to these sets, it was so cumbersome. The thing would get so tall because then you have the camera itself, then you have the top handle, and the top handle has the monitor on it, and it would just be this like three-tiered cake that you'd see on set. And I really disliked that for multiple reasons. It'd be too top heavy. It would just be kind of just like weird to hold. And so I decided to sell that camera and save up a little bit to buy the Pyxis. And I've loved this so far. The ergonomics of this have been amazing. And I wanted to go over the rig that I built for this because this only uses one cable for the whole thing. And I think that's amazing if you're trying to build something out quickly or if you're trying to do something with an ease of use factor. Like this is so easy. So I wanted to talk about it today. And yeah, so let's just jump into it. So we'll kind of start at the back of the camera and then we'll move our way forward. So first, I am using a newer V-mount battery. It's 150 watts. This thing is great. I love that it has a little LCD screen on the back to tell me how much percentage is in the battery. The only thing is that this only powers the camera for about like 5 to 6 hours. So I definitely want to get another one so I can swap them during shoots. Then moving on from the battery, I am using the Tilta V-mount plate, which is kind of a hot take. I really enjoy this, but a lot of people don't. And the reason is because if this is the main camera body right here, this is extending quite a bit, and a lot of people don't like this on the camera.
And I can see why they did it. Like giving us this space here allows us to access all of these ports here, as well as access the ports on the other side, like the headphone jack and the microphone, as well as the CF Express Type B slots.
Personally, I was willing to sacrifice the appearance if it managed to lock on very well, which it does. So the main cage for the whole camera is Tilta as well. And because of that, they seamlessly work together. There's actually a little notch up here that you can screw into the cage itself. And that like this thing is not going to go anywhere. And that's part of the reason why I wanted this one specifically was because some of the other options out there, they go into the BPU battery plate that the Pyxis has, which is great, but it looks loose or it doesn't like, it feels flimsy. So when I saw people have this, I was willing to sacrifice the appearance so that way I could handheld this and actually like push this up against my shoulder with no worry at all. I have no fear that this is ever going to come loose and is going to protect the battery plate system within the Pyxis as well. So from that battery plate, we then move on to the camera system. And like I mentioned, I'm using the Tilta camera cage. This thing is amazing for multiple reasons, but I also find a couple things that I dislike about it. So first off, there are a bunch of threading holes, which I think is amazing. The only caveat is I don't have them where I need them. You have a bunch of 1/4 inch screw holes along with the bigger 3/8, but they're all kind of placed in like weird spots. So for example, the Tilta handle that I have on this currently is great. I love it. I think it's very comfortable and is very like, feels very light and very comfortable to use. However, it has a NATO rail system, which is also not bad inherently, but there is no other way for me to mount this anywhere. The only NATO rail system that they have is up here up top and then two on each side, which again is great because I have other NATO rail, compliant systems. Like I have a follow focus system that uses NATO rails. So I don't even have to put anything else on there to use it, which is fantastic. The only thing is I have to buy a new top handle if I want to mount this literally anywhere else. And the other place that I've seen people do is that instead of, putting it on the front of the camera like this, they'll turn it around and they'll mount it on the back. So you still get the handle, but now it's kind of like out of the way. And I thought about doing that, but I can't because it's a NATO rail. And there's also no mount back here for me to do that. Like there's no threading holes back here. And I can see why. It's because the Tilta V-mount plate is screwed into this little area right here. So that makes sense. But I need to find a solution because what I'd really like to do is mount the Pyxis monitor up here up top in the front of the camera and then have like this handle back here. So yeah, there's that. And okay, so moving on, we'll go ahead and talk about this side of the camera first since it's already facing towards the camera. But essentially, I have a small rig arm just kind of attached to one of the NATO rails here on the front, and then it's attached up here. So what's attached up here is the Pyxis monitor, and I love the Pyxis monitor for multiple reasons. One of them, I can control the Pyxis through it. The battery life on it is great because it just plugs in through USB-C into the camera, which is, again, the only cord that I'm using. So it plugs into the camera and then feeds off of the V-mount that I have back here, which is amazing. I don't have to have so many extra cords. The only thing that I dislike about this monitor so far is they didn't use an RE mounting system. They have some like smaller proprietary mounting system that they're using. So this small rig arm that I have is RE pin located, but if you see like up here, like this monitor is just kind of swishing around because of the fact that there is no mount for it to like clamp into. Um, I saw that there is a attachment to fix that and make it into an RE pin, but I haven't bought it yet. I do plan on buying it because this annoys the hell out of me. Switching the camera around, I am not opting to use any SSD storage on this. I am opting to use the CF Express Type B card in the camera. I find personally, I don't want to have any type of like failure happening with the SSD that's over here on the side with another cord that's just flimsy that could break off. Now, I have seen people put SSDs inside of here, and if I remember correctly, they are like the Samsung T7s. So it is a specific type of SSD that needs to go in here. You can't just buy one and then throw it in here. I guess you could, but it wouldn't fit snugly. Um, Instead, yeah, again, I use the CF Express Type Bs, which have been fantastic. They've been great. I use the Angel Bird ones. So then moving on a little bit forward, I have the small rig wooden handle here, and this is like one of the most comfortable handles that I have. Now you'll notice that it has like a recording button on it, but it doesn't function with the Pyxis. There's like a USB-C port on the inside of the handle itself that would route to the camera, but I don't have that because it doesn't work. So essentially I'm just using it for ergonomics, and it feels really, really nice. I think like if you have the option to get a wooden handle, it's the most comfortable handle I've ever used, whether that be like wooden, plastic, some type of carbon fiber. Wooden, just for whatever reason, just holds in the hand very well. So if you do manage to get one or you can get one, I would recommend it. Oh yeah, one other thing I did want to mention. When you buy the Pyxis monitor, if you don't buy the kit, it doesn't come with a USB-C cord. So I went on Amazon and I bought a USB-C cord from Alvin's Cables. And this one is cool because it actually has the little like threading needle to put into the monitor and into the Pyxis. So like this cord is never going to come out because it's actually screwed into the body itself. I thought that was kind of cool on Blackmagic's part. Kind of something that maybe not thought about all that often, but it was, it was a cool addition. And then to kind of round out this whole thing, I am using pre-AI Nikon vintage lenses. I love these a lot. They have a lot of character to them. I am looking at investing into different lenses though, and I'm not going to say anything because it's still kind of up in the air if I'm going to do that. But if I do, it'll be amazing. I'm super excited. And I'll share that with the channel soon. But yeah, overall, this is my very minimal Pyxis build using just one cord. I love it a lot. I think the actual form factor of it has just been amazing. There are a few things that I do want to change. Like I mentioned, I want to change the top handle. I want to try to find a different way to mount it. I want to put the Pyxis somewhere that's a little bit better, so it's not like covering the screen at all. And then the other thing I also wanted to do was I wanted to put like a shotgun mic on this because right now there is really no way for me to put a mic on it. Over here on the left-hand side of the actual cage, there is a mount for like a hot shoe where you can maybe put like a shotgun mic, but it's on the left-hand side. Like that's such a weird place to put it. Because if I'm going to use like an actual shotgun microphone, there's going to be a cord that comes out of the back, and then I have to route it over here to bring it all the way on the other side over here into the mini XLR that's mounted on the front of the camera. I just think that that hot shoe is such a weird place to put that. I wish they would have put it like up top or like maybe even on the other side that's not the screen side. Little update here. There actually is a hot shoe mount right here, though it still does me zero good because if I mount the microphone this way, it's just going to block my handle and then I have to move the handle and like not use it. So still like in the end, there isn't really a good way to mount a microphone. So I'm just going to have to buy the mount separately and find a place to put it. I feel like that was just a miss, but there are stuff that you can buy to mount that elsewhere. And I do plan on buying that. So yeah, I would say over the next coming months, this build might change like slightly, but overall, it's kind of just the way it's going to be. I don't have a follow focus system because if I'm going to handheld it, I'm just going to use my other hand to, adjust that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the build. I think that this is the best way to rig out this camera. Again, just for ease of use and having just the most minimal setup possible. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys have any other suggestions on how I can maybe make this a little bit more efficient. I'd be curious to see what you guys say. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.